Balance fund, combination niya ng bond fund, ng money market, saka ng equity fund. So, as the name suggests, ano siya balance, no? Uh, it has the characteristic of capital preservation of money market and bond fund, but it has also the characteristic of potential growth, no, of an equity fund. Hi, I'm Nats Golya and welcome to my investment guide. This episode is on mutual funds. Paano pumili ng saktong para sa'yo? If you haven't watched my previous video on the basics of mutual funds, I'll put the link below in the description. You may want to check it out. So, paano pumili ng saktong para sa'yo? Yan ba ay parang pumipili ka ng special someone na kung tipong ikaw ay konserbatibo, ang gusto mo ay yung konserbatibo rin, o kung ikaw ay agresibo, ang gusto mo rin, yung hinahanap mo ay agresibo din. Kung ikaw ay pang short term lang, short term ay hindi short time, pang short term lang, yung pang short term lang din ang hahanapin mo. Or kung if you are for the long haul, ang hahanapin mo rin na partner ay yung for the long period of time. I don't know if that is a good analogy, no? The relationship in mutual funds. I might stick with the issue on mutual funds na lang, no? So sa kwentuhang ito, sagutin natin yung tanong na paano pumili ng saktong para sa'yo. But before you could answer that general question, you have to answer the sub-questions, no? Like, who are you? What are the stats? And what to do next, no? Ano yung who are you? Basically, yung who are you, there are reflection questions that are embedded in that question, who are you? These are, what is your time horizon? What are your investment goals? What is your risk appetite, no? Isa-isahin natin. Doon muna tayo sa time horizon. So, para saan ba yung investment na nilalagak mo dyan? Ano yung time horizon mo dyan? Yan ba ay a year or less? Short term yun. Yan ba ay 3 years to 5 years? Medium term yun. Yan ba ay 5 years or more? Long term yun, no? So it is important to determine what is your time horizon for your investment, no? Secondly, what are your investment goals? Para saan ba yung pera na ini-invest mo? Yan ba ay bahagi ng iyong emergency fund na gusto mo lang iparada muna doon pero kumikita ng konti? O yan ba ay para sa studies ng mga bata na gagamitin mo 3 to 5 years from now? O yan ba ay bahagi ng game plan mo for your retirement, no? 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, no? Dapat masagot mo yan. Pangatlo, you have to answer the question, what is your risk appetite? Or what is your risk tolerance, no? Let us give a concrete explanation of these questions. Time horizon mo, a year or less para sa emergency fund mo gagamitin. Ibig sabihin, yung madaling i-pull out, no? Pag kailangan mo, makukuha mo kagad. By the way, ang mga mutual funds, kahit anong asset class yan, meron yung tinatawag na holding period. Pero, pwede ka namang mag-redeem ng iyong investment kahit hindi pa umaabot o lumalagpas doon sa holding period. Meron nga lang siyang early redemption fee. Pero pwede mo pa rin kunin. So anyways, kung a year or less, tapos ang paggagamitan mo ay bilang parking space mo lang for your emergency fund, tapos low risk yung appetite, yung tolerance, ilagay mo siya sa money market, no? Kasi sa money market, low risk yung investment mo, may capital preservation, no? At ang time horizon para sa money market is a year or less. Pwede mong kunin kagad yung pera mo. So, short term, low risk, pero ganun din, low yield. Pero may capital preservation. Money market. Time horizon mo, maikli lang. Pero kung ang pera mo o yung pondo mo ay gagamitin mo pa 3 to 5 years from now, for example, para sa pag-aaral ng mga bata, no? Tapos ang risk appetite mo o risk tolerance mo ay nasa low to moderate, no? Pwede mong ilagay yung iyong pondo sa bond fund, no? Yung bond fund, as I have mentioned in my previous video, are invested into government and corporate securities, no? Parang lumalabas diyan, umuutang sa iyo ang gobyerno o yung isang korporasyon at ang kapalit niyan mayroong interest or coupon kung tawagin, no? Usually fixed yung interest or yung coupon, yung kita na ibinibigay sa bond fund. Low to moderate risk, no? 3 to 5 years, medium term, yung time horizon niya, dyan mo ilagay yung pondo mo. Kung para yan sa pag-aaral ng mga bata at hindi mo pa naman gagamitin ngayon, gagamitin mo to ng 3 to 5 years from now, its earnings are far better than when you place it in money market or in regular savings account, no? Now, if the fund is intended for your game plan for the finale, yung retirement plan mo, no? Ang time horizon mo 5, 10, 15, 20 years, no? Mataas yung risk tolerance mo. I suggest, no, you put it in balance fund or equity fund, no? Balance fund, combination niya ng bond fund, ng money market, saka ng equity fund. So, as the name suggests, ano siya balance, no? It has the characteristic of capital preservation of money market and bond fund, but it has also the characteristic of potential growth, no, of an equity fund. On the other hand, pwede mo siyang ilagay sa equity fund. Equity funds are invested in shares or stocks of companies, no? Kaya lang sa equity fund nga, high risk siya kasi high yield din. Remember, the market is volatile, no? Sumasayaw yung market May uptrend, merong downtrend, may sideways. Pero if you are on a long haul, it doesn't matter anymore. You will be fine. Your shares will appreciate over the years. Kikita ka doon sa pangilagay mo sa equity fund na mutual fund, no? And especially so, ako I recommend doon sa equity index fund. Ano yung equity index fund na mutual fund? The investments are placed on corporations which are part of the index of the Philippine Stock Exchange, no? Kasi ang Philippine Stock Exchange has an index, no, yung tinatawag na PSEI. This is composed of the top 30 biggest and most traded companies listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange, no? So, malaking korporasyon to. So, ang assumption natin talaga ay sooner or later talaga maaring slow yung growth but sure, no, lumalaki, di ba? Ito, and I will give an example on this, no. So you have to ask yourself those questions. Ano ang time horizon, ano ang investment goals, ano yung risk tolerance nyo. Para doon kayo pipili ng inyong asset class na babagay sa inyo. No? Let us go to the figures. So, what are the stats? No? What are the figures? Ito, halimbawa, if you want to put your funds on money market, low risk, kasi pang emergency fund nyo lang, low yield, short term. No? Just a form of disclaimer, I'm not recommending Sun Life, no, or any other mutual fund for that matter. I'm just using this for the sake of illustration, no. It's up to you to decide on what kind of what asset class and what mutual fund you will acquire, no. For the sake of illustration lang, I'm using Sun Life Prosperity Money Market Fund, no. In this illustration, I'm also using COL Financial as my stock brokerage platform, no. Kasi yung sa COL, bukod sa you can do direct investing, you can also invest in mutual funds through that platform, no. So ito halimbawa, money market, no, low risk, short term, capital preservation. Tingnan nyo rin pag namimili kayo ng asset class at ng fund, yung mga figures like magkano ang initial contribution. Tingnan nyo to, itong sa Sun Life, 100 piso lang, makakapagsimula ka na ng iyong investment sa money market. And you can top up an additional contribution with a minimum of 100 pesos din, no? Napakadali na mag-ipon or magparada ng pondo sa money market fund tulad nitong sa Sun Life. Good thing too is that its management fee is only 0.4% and it has no front end and back end fees. Ano ba yung front end? Pag pumapasok ka investment, meron na kagad bayad. Pag naglabas ka na investment, may bayad. Dito sa Sun Life Prosperity Money Market Fund, walang front end saka back end fee, no? And the holding period is only 7 days, no? Now, kinuha mo bago mag 7 days, magbabayad ka syempre ng early redemption fee. At ang kanilang fee ay 0.28% lang, no? So mababa na 'yon, no? So if you are looking for a fund, a mutual fund that is for the short term, low risk, with capital preservation, money market ang gamitin nyo. And you may check on the details of the fund that you are to invest as to the statistics, no? Figures like minimum initial contribution, top up, management fee. Tingnan nyo rin kung may front saka back end fee, saka kung magkano yung early redemption fee. It is good also to look at the historical performance of the fund you are intending to invest in, no? Pero tandaan, historical performance is not a guarantee of future performance, no? It's not a guarantee. It's a good reference, no? Pero hindi yan laging guarantee. Money market yan. Now, ang inyong time horizon 3 to 5 years, you may want to check bond fund. Again, I'm using HRAM corporate bond fund as an illustration only, no? Medium term, then moderate risk tolerance. Gusto nyo fix yung income ng inyong investment, you may check on a bond fund. Etong HRAM corporate bond fund, tingnan natin ha. Yun, no? 1,000 lang yung minimum initial contribution and 600 lang yung top up o yung additional contribution. Management fee is 1.2%. No front end and back end fees. And walang holding period, no? Anytime you can withdraw without being penalized for early redemption. Ganda 'yon na wala siyang holding period, no? Walang holding period, walang early redemption fee, no? So if your time horizon, medium term, your risk tolerance is moderate, sa'yo to. Para sa'yo itong bond fund, no? Again, I'm using HM Corporate Bond Fund as just a form of illustration. Then, we have the balance fund. As it is also a product of HM, no? Medyo mataas na yung risk level niya, 6 na siya. Sabi dito as the description of the fund says, no, the fund is suitable for investors with moderately aggressive risk appetite, no. So ang balance fund considered ano pa rin siya, moderate, no, gitna, kasi it's a mixture of all of the asset classes, yung money market, yung bond fund, saka yung equity fund, no. It is designed to provide total returns from current income and capital growth through investments in diversified portfolio of fixed income and equity. Naglalagay din yan sa equity, no? Kaya lang ang tendency ng balance fund, no, my own opinion lang, naghihilahan sila. Because it has a characteristic of money market and bond fund, medyo naka-fix yung kanyang growth potential. On the other hand, it has also the characteristic of the equity fund, which has a good potential for growth. Kaya nangyayari, nauuwi siya sa gitna, no? Well, that's the name suggests, di ba? As the name suggests, balance fund nga eh. So kung nasa moderate ang inyong risk tolerance, ang inyong time horizon ay 3 to 5 years, then para sa inyo yung balance fund. Pero in my own opinion, pwedeng gamitin ang balance fund for the long haul, yung pangmatagalan. Pwede mo itong gamitin bilang game plan mo for your retirement, no? Kasi nga stable siya dahil combination siya, mixture siya ng mga iba't ibang asset classes. And finally, yung equity fund, no? Again, as a form of disclaimer, this is just for the sake of illustration, but I would like to disclose also that I am subscribed in PIL Equity PSE Index Fund, no? So, sabi natin, kapag equity fund, you are for the long haul, pero dapat meron ka ring high risk tolerance, no? Kasi high din yung possibility ng growth, no? So, bakit siya tinawag na Philippine Stock Exchange Index Fund? Because it is mirroring the performance or the fund allocation and eventually the performance of the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Ano ba yung PSEI? It is composed basically of the top 30, no, biggest and most traded companies listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. So ito yung mga blue chips, ito yung mga malaking corporations. So doon nilalagay ng PIL Equity, no, PSE Index Fund yung kanyang pondo, no? Approximate lang naman. Doon nilalagay yung pondo ng PIL Equity na isang index fund. Anong tendency nito? Tendency nito kung anong galaw ng index fund, ng PSE index, yun din ang galaw ng pondo, no? Eh kung for the long haul ka naman, 'di ba? Kung for the long haul ka naman, proven naman in the past din talaga that the value of shares of big companies, no, especially blue chips, are appreciating over the years, no? To give you figures on that. Halimbawa, itong Phil Equity PSE Index Fund, no? In 10 years, it is able to beat the benchmark, no? Ano ba yung benchmark? Ito yung standard. At ang sinusundan niyang standard o benchmark ay yung PSE index. 10 years, kumita siya cumulative returns ng 51%, over 51%. Samantalang ang benchmark ay kumita lang ng 43%, no? So that's a difference of more or less 7%. So tinalo niya yung kanyang benchmark. In 20 years, no? Kumita siya cumulatively 348%. And the PSE index earned 296. So difference of 51%. That's for 20 years. So na-outperform niya yung index, yung kanyang bine-benchmark. And a good thing about this fund, tingnan nyo, minimum initial contribution 1,000 lang. And top up nyo 500 lang. Baba, di ba? Ngayon pa lang, pwede na kayo magsimula dyan. Management fee is 1%. No front end, no back end fee. At ang holding period, 90 days lang. You may want to consider that. Again, I am not pushing for this. I'm just showing this for the sake of illustration. And as a disclosure, subscribe ako dyan. No? So that's the Philippine Equity PSE Index Fund. If you're for the long haul, no? Kung ito ang game plan mo ay retirement plan, you may want to consider this kind of equity fund. Anong gagawin yung kasunod? As I have told you in my previous videos, you may use COL Financial as your platform. Ang daling gamitin, no? Easy to navigate. You can do direct stock investing, or you can go to mutual funds through that platform. Just open an account online, submit the requirements, fund your COL account, and you may now start investing. And as a form of recapitulation, paano pumili ng saktong para sa'yo? Well, as mentioned, it is only you who can answer that question. But you have to consider several factors. What is your time horizon? Short term, medium term, long term. What are your investment objectives? Para yan ba sa inyong emergency fund para may paparadahan muna? Is that for the schooling of your kids 3 to 5 years from now? Or is that part of your game plan for your retirement? You have to also answer the question, what is my risk appetite, or what is my risk tolerance? Low risk, moderate risk, or high risk? Only then you can answer the question, ano ba ang para sa akin? Ano ba yung saktong para sa akin? And as I always say, grow your wealth, protect it, and invest more. I'm Nats Golia, and this is my investment guide. If you find my contents just right for you, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and until the next video, Dankeschön.